Alright guys, we're doing For Misery Gaming, Sinoalice, this is Spoot. We have the part 2 of the Automata banner coming out. This is with 9s and B2, or 2B, I don't know why I keep calling her B2, that's such a weird thing. 2B Crusher coming out on Rate Up. This also has the Virtuous Contract in it, which is the banner weapon from Automata. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the banner, see what's going on. So first off, we've got Virtuous Contract, which is an SR rate up weapon. Not awful at L level 80. It's almost 5k. It's got Life Leech on it. It also has Dauntless Courage 1. As we went over in the Coliseum aid, Dauntless Courage is just kind of the default. So this is an okay sword, especially at 5,000. Like, it's slightly higher than a lot of the ones we're looking at. And if you, for whatever reason, pull more than one, you are looking at potentially significantly higher, like almost a little over 6,000. So a 1,300 point increase, which is pretty good. Cruel Arrogance. This is 9 S's or 9s. Lance. So this is one of the better paladin ones to start off with, although again, it kind of falls down on its own thing. So it hits great magical damage to 1 to 2 enemies. Same thing for Coliseum. It's got Replenish Magic, which reduces SP consumption while executing. So not terrible. It's got an okay branch of skills for paladins. Being fair, I know there aren't a whole lot of paladins floating around. So it is what it is. Like, that's, there aren't too many people playing paladins, mostly crushers and breakers, but hopefully this actually brings a couple more paladins to the table. 4,700 stats, pretty much the same as everything else in this banner. It's going to float close to 5k, but not quite as much. Type 3 Lance, this is one of the S Lances that's in the banner. So if you're going Paladin, having 2 on rate up is actually okay. It's only got 2,600 stats, 3,200 at max LB. Metal Focus is you have a chance to increase your own magical attack, and it does moderate magical damage to 1 to 2 enemies, like most Lances. So, yeah, if you get it, great. I mean, it's 3,000 stats at the worst, so it's not an amazing item, but free charm medals at the worst. And then you've got Beast Lord, the hammer that most people that are chasing 2B kind of want. So you've got Water Goddess's Prestige 3, so it deals great physical damage to 1 to 2 enemies, like an AoE weapon, but it also has a chance to decrease their physical and magical attack by, I think it's like a 10% tier or something to that effect. This is pretty good. Not only does it hit 2 enemies, but it has a 2 enemy debuff, so on attack, that's pretty sweet. It's also one of the few weapons that has Dauntless Courage 2, so on average, this weapon's DPS is going to be slightly higher. That's a pretty good touch, not gonna lie. It only taps out at 4,500 at level 80, so the stats are slightly lower than the rest of the pool. But, I mean, for a hammer, you're still hitting 2 targets, so I don't, like, that's pretty good. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the 2 jobs. So we've got 2B, that's the breaker. Let's look at the crusher. This is my more preferred look with her. Like the top and the leotard are sweet. She does get 70% in area for hammers, 10% in colo, so not too bad. Got a lot of physical attack defense. Her defense is also like through the roof on this one, so you can theoretically get 300 physical defense just off of pulling her, which is pretty good. Physical attack, not so much, about 100, but still better than some of the not gacha classes. That's her little sprite. And you can just pity the class or the weapon. If you were going to use your Nier medals on part 2, if you haven't already, I would lean you into using it on a weapon over a class, just because the stat gain from a weapon is significantly higher than a job. Though a job in the long run, you want as many as possible. But I don't think you're going to be running into an issue just collecting jobs in the future. So not a huge difference there, but the weapon, if you're going to pity, do the weapon over the job. And then we have 9S or 9s. He is the Paladin, so you may start seeing a little bit of a spike in Paladin users coming up. He's got kind of the opposite. This one's more offensive based than defensive based. So like he gets 300 magical attack off of it instead of the defense. So not really too terrible. It's a big hit. So like 300 base stats is a lot when you're adding it on. The HP, and then if you Arcana him, like 400 extra magical attack. Like the Arcanas are, if you pull them in it, you plan on it being a main, you might want to Arcana unlock them just for the stats. They are a little ridiculous. His model's kind of cool. I don't think anybody is going to have enough to 100% Arcana any of these, since they cost like 500 a pop. So, I mean, unless you plan on going real crazy, I wouldn't worry about it too much. And these banners do come back later. They come back at least 3 times to current JP. So we'll see another re-up banner. We'll see some more stuff. Now, A2 and Emil are in the banner, but they are not on rate up. So they are on the regular 0.024 or 0.034, whatever the standard is. So if you haven't pulled them yet and you are chasing them, you don't want to do it on this banner, but it's possible that you could pull them, although very statistically unlikely. So, free-to-play players, I would save your gems for more specific banners. If you are like a minstrel, for example, you're going to want to save for, I believe, Pinocchio's minstrel banner is coming out later this week. And even then, we should start seeing the specialized banners where they have rate-ups on specific types of weapons, like tomes or instruments or blades, etc., etc. So, free-to-play players, unless you are a breaker, which is an expensive class, I get it, or you want to swap into being a crusher or a paladin, generally I wouldn't say go after the Automata banners. These are good weapons, but they will get outclassed by Replicant, which comes out in 2.5 weeks. So if you feel like you can put off and not waifu chase, do that. We're going to see a couple more banners between now and then, and hopefully we start seeing the specialized banners. Whales, do whatever the hell you want. Buy, like, don't let me tell you what to do. Like, spend your money, home dog. Like, why not? But for the most part, the banner is okay, and if you are an Automata fan, that is probably the reason why you are playing this game in the first place. So don't get frustrated if you don't pull the character you're chasing out of these two. They do come back. These are not the only time you see them. Limited banners are not truly limited in this game. They always have reruns. So that's pretty much it. So like, comment, subscribe. Tell me who you're hunting down in the comments. Tell me like who you're chasing in the future. I will have a should you pull on the Pinocchio banner coming out probably a little later this week. So keep an eye out for it, but also, you know, tell us how you're doing. Are you liking Sinoalice? Are you kind of hitting your limit? How are you doing in Guild Wars? Like, we just put out the Coliseum aid video yesterday, so go check that out if you're kind of interested how weapon skills shake up in Coliseum if you guys are having trouble. So, all right, that's it for me. Y'all have a good one, and don't get miserable.